Well, good morning, everybody. I think we're doing a close-up here, and I'm in the annex with our mom cat, Till. I think you know Till. That's T-I-L-L. She's the one with the big paws there. And it is almost 7 o'clock in the morning, and she's just had 4 babies. And in almost record time. She's, I think, the second now fastest birth kittens per hour. At least that's what I was just told on chat, where Nibbles is still number 1. It's interesting that though number 1 and number 2 of all time are, both within the last month, within the last few classes. Yeah, that's it. I need more coffee. So I think this is it. She had 4 kittens. I'm pretty sure she's done. I wouldn't say it's impossible that there's another one in there, but I don't think there is. I tried feeling pretty well. And I'd like to see if I can tell who's who and introduce you to the kittens real quick, though they're all latched on and nursing. I hate to interrupt that right now, so we'll see. They were just born, within the last hour. And you can see what we've got are basically 3 gray and white tabbies, and then 1 black, I would say, and white tabby, although she's also got the brown like mom does, just the darker color, I guess, over here. So, and in birth order, let's just see, I'm pretty sure this was number 1, the first one born, and I know it's going to be really hard to tell them apart, but I'll show you what I know in a minute. So number 1 is here. Number 2 is the dark one, who's under mom's chin. That's number 2. Then number 3 was this one, which I know because she's got this funny little mark on her nose. It's her white mark that looks kind of like a bone or something. It looked like a bone when she was still all wet. Now it just kind of looks like a white spot right in the middle of her forehead, but it goes down her nose too. So that's how you can tell number 3 from the unique white facial marking. Otherwise looks very much like 1 and 4. And then number 4 is this one here. And you can tell 1 on the left there. 1 is on the left and 4 is on the right. It's confusing because 3 is on the far left. You can't really see that face there. I'm trying, everybody. It's hard to hold this camera at a good angle for all this. So this would be 1, 4, that's 3 off there to the side with the interesting little face mark on the nose. So we're pretty much positive that number 1 is a boy, and then there's a little bit of confusion about the rest. We think 2 is definitely a girl, 1 is definitely a boy, 3 maybe, and 4 maybe boys. I don't know. We'll have to check again. It's a little early to say for sure. And how to tell 1 from 4 is basically the amount of white. I guess I didn't think so, but 4's collar actually does. The little white ring goes all the way around. Almost all. Well, does it quite connect in the middle? It doesn't quite connect. You can see there's a little land bridge there. But anyway, 4 has a nearly complete white collar, and 3 has a white collar, but it doesn't go quite as far. You can see it doesn't come close to connecting. Hang on, let me flip you guys around there. You're standing on your heads for some reason. So, there we go. We've got 4 brand new kittens for Till. DJ was here for the entire delivery and helped out quite a bit, which means she had a chance to lick the kittens, and we might even get names today. Wouldn't that be nice? But Nene, yes, I agree. We were going to need collars, but we definitely can't get them collars yet, like you said, until they get bigger. So we will think about collars. If we can't tell them apart very easily by the time they're about a month old, that's about the time we'll do it. Until then, we're just going to have to do our best with what we got. But we know number 1 is the gray and white. Number 2 is the just twin of mom, basically. Less white than mom, actually. She's got a little bit of white on her face, but she's got the same, you can see the brown and the black color for the tabby. So that's number 2 is the dark one. So number 1, number 2, 3 is the one with the interesting little white spot on her nose. And then number 4 is the one with the nearly complete white collar. That's how we're going to go for now. She did such an amazing job. She's already had a mom cat special. So she's already eaten after she gave birth. And everything here is pretty much cleaned up too. Looking good. She did an incredible job. Not only was she very fast, but she seemed like she really knew what she was doing. She cleaned the kittens extremely well, extremely quickly. And doesn't seem too fussed about us picking up the kittens, and we were cleaning them with the paper towels like we always do, trying to get them dry. We picked them all up. We did a couple blanket changes, and she didn't complain nearly as much as most moms do. She just was real cool with all of it. So that was pretty nice. She did a real good job. And everybody latched does a real good job too. I wish I could show you their faces a little bit more, but that'll have to wait since this is really their first good latch and nurse. I definitely don't want to interrupt it. So as long as I've got everybody here, and this is a pretty calm scene, if you want to keep watching these guys, you can always do it on the regular Kitten Academy live stream. I guarantee they will be featured on it 24/7 for probably at least until they can get out of the box, so the next few weeks. And then it might be more of a challenge for us to keep them on the camera. But well, I've got you guys. We might as well talk about all the other kittens and cats that are here at the Kitten Academy. Now, I haven't heard anything official about adopters from Dawes yet for the older kittens that are here. That would be the April Meowers, Bud, and etc. Bud and Brawley did go for their spays and neuters yesterday. They came back. They're just fine. And I think, again, I haven't got the official word, but I think that Bud and Brawley and their mom, Bud, Brawley, and Puddles, are all going to be adopted together and may even be picked up as soon as Sunday, this coming Sunday. I do have to get the official word from Dawes, but the people that are adopting, I think we probably all know. I think I can take them at their word when they say that they've been approved for that. If you don't know, because you're not on Discord or weren't at KACon, it is the people I'm talking about there are Callie, Mo, and Sir Geek, who have been keeping a real close eye on Puddles and Crew since day one and have previously adopted, and so we know they're good people. And they, like I was saying, they want to come pick up their cats on Sunday. So we could see Bud, Brawley, and their mom Puddles all gone on Sunday. But I couldn't tell you exactly who's who. But I do know that Dawes was telling me we do still need some applications for the older kittens. Why don't we go see them while I'm talking to you here? Like I said, if you want to keep watching these guys just sleeping, you can do that on the regular stream. We got the leftover mom cat special there, and she's got breakfast over here in the usual spot. And this is covering up where I spilled a whole bunch of coffee this morning. I think it's clean though. Anyway, Dawes was saying that some of the older kittens still do need applications. And I don't know exactly which ones, but I know it was a few of them, so probably almost everybody I didn't name already would be my guess, if not everybody. Now, let's go find them. Here we go. If we lose the stream suddenly, I'm not going to start again. We're just going to call it. So thank you for joining me if that's the case, but I don't know that we're going to. Let's just keep trying here. So this is Wellington. Doesn't technically count as part of the older class I was talking about, but he and his sister will be, they're very well integrated. They act like they're part of the same class. That's the mom Puddles. That's Wellington. He did just take a smack from her, but they normally get along just fine. This is Brawley, who I was just talking about, has her adopter and maybe going on Sunday. got her spay yesterday. And that's Bud, who just flew past us and onto the cat thing. He got his neuter yesterday, although you wouldn't really know it from... Oh, and there's also Brawley climbing up the thing. They're obviously very active. Kittens come back from surgeries so quickly. Boys especially. Their surgery is almost nothing in the first place. So they're all up and playing and having a good time already. There's Brawley. Now this guy was just looking at us. I should have looked at her first. It's a her. Where'd she go? Okay, this must be... I can't tell these guys apart without checking their collar. This is Drizzle, though, because Drizzle has the purple collar. There we go. And Drizzle's... they're all very social, wonderful. This whole family is some of the friendliest kitties. Drizzle, of the group, though, is the shyest, I would say. She's the one that's the most likely to run and hide from danger and the most likely to kind of hide away from people, too. But... that's not saying much. When it comes to this class, they're all very social. This is Squall. That's Wellington's sister. I mentioned Wellington earlier being not exactly part of this class. Same thing. Squall, not exactly part of this class. She and her brother will be looking for adopters eventually, but they're a little bit younger. Still pretty well integrated. So this is Squall. Bud. This is Raindrop. I only know because I just saw her white collar. There it is. Little Raindrop. She is a sweetheart. Of the ones that are still here, she's probably the one that's the most social. She's always kind of following me around and wants to be involved. Mom Puddles again. So who does that leave that we haven't seen? We haven't seen Sprout. And we haven't seen Serenity yet, have we? Serenity also is going to need an adopter. If she hasn't got one, I guess I wouldn't know. She very well might. Where are we going for that? There's Big Custard. That's Drizzle again. This is, we call this one Photon. That's Photon because it's a cool word and because she kind of looked like Crouton and showed up around the same time. Yeah. Okay, Drizzle, Custard, Maggie Moo. Well, we might have to do some searching to find old Sprout, but I think it's worth it. So let's keep looking. Here's Eddie. Sitting at the breakfast table still. Good job, buddy. Nobody in the sunroom as far as I can see from here. I just saw that's Brawley again. Ah, there we go. The one without the collar on. Now, normally... Sprout here would have a pink collar on, a bright pink collar, but it fell off. We haven't put it back on yet. Honestly, I think it's time to get her third pink collar because that second one was a little small. So, anyway, that is Sprout. Now, Sprout, last time we spoke, last time we spoke, I was talking, I think, about how Sprout was having some poop issues and some GI issues, and she was pooping every place that wasn't the litter box and even peeing some places that weren't the litter box. And I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like that's entirely resolved. So that's happy news. And, did we see Teaspoon? He's up there with Serenity. I see Holly Moore also just said, can we see T? All right. I once knew somebody with that exact name, Holly Moore, I think. Just sounds so familiar. Okay. Let's see here. So here is Teaspoon and Serenity. They happen to be together. Serenity Teaspoon. I don't know why I did that. Serenity has been super sweet. She's turned into a real kitten herself. She's also spayed and ready to go, although it would be real sweet to see her get adopted with one of the other kittens here since she loves to play. And on the nights like last night, when it's just her out and Teaspoon out, and all the kittens are in with Puddles, she doesn't get to stay with Puddles because they don't get along. On nights like that, when it's basically just her out here because Teaspoon doesn't play quite as hard as she likes, She does. She gets a little frantic. She runs around a lot extra, and she makes a lot of extra noise, and she's like, I want a kitten to wrestle with. And she really does want a kitten to wrestle with, and that's probably not going to change. So I think it would make a lot of sense if someone who adopted Serenity adopted her with a kitten she can wrestle with, which would be one of these kittens here. You might have some luck getting her to integrate with a kitten you already have that needs a wrestling partner, but that's a lot trickier than getting her to go with a kitten that she already knows. For her part, though, I don't think she cares. I think she'd be perfectly happy with a new kitten to bite and play with, as long as it gets along with her, you know. She does tend to go like Logan, or, you know, like she tends to like want to bite when I start to rub her belly too much. She'll give me a little bite, but it's I trust her at this point to not bite me too hard. I know that she's just telling me to back off, that she doesn't want my hand on her belly. So she's good. She's a great kitty. So Teaspoon, yesterday we got him into the surgeon to consult about his neuter, because he is like 6 months old now and he needs to get neutered, but you know he's got that heart condition that we're not going to be able to bring him in for surgery for. The surgeon for the heart, said that the cardiologist said that we probably should look to have his heart surgery done around the beginning of October. So we brought him to another surgeon yesterday to find out about getting at least his neuter done before then, because we'd like to get that done sooner rather than later, because he's, you know, well, we don't want any accidents here at the Kitten Academy. We don't make kittens here. We just deliver them. So we do want to make sure he gets his neuter. And I've heard from some people, there's some tales that if you go too long without neutering a boy, that they can have some behavioral issues later too. But in my experience, you can have those behavioral issues whether they are or aren't. So I don't know how true it is. Nonetheless, all that together meant I wanted to make sure he got neutered. We brought him to the surgeon yesterday. The surgeon had a good look at him and basically said, nah, why don't we do that after the heart surgery? Let's do the heart first, and then we'll get him neutered. But one of the reasons that we were seeing a surgeon, sorry I'm going so out of order here, instead of going to our regular doctor for his neuter, is because he's also cryptorchid, which, sorry to be technical here, cryptorchid just means that they can't find his testicles. When in kittens, when they're born, the testicles start way up by the kidneys, like way up here, and they have to, well, that might be a little high, but maybe right about here. They have to travel all the way down to their final resting place, which normally happens by the time they're 2 or 3 months old, and therefore when we get them fixed, it's not an issue. We've had a few that have been a little bit late to the party and ended up either turning up at the very last minute, or they were right at the door and very easy for the vet to take care of. But his case seems a little more severe, where they've kind of felt around and kind of took a look with an ultrasound already, and they can't find him. So they've really gone missing. And in that case, when you're talking about a boy that's that cryptorchid, first off, you can't just leave them and say, all right, well, forget it then, he's fine. So you can't do that because it can cause all kinds of complications later. So you want to make sure that you get those things gone. Not just the behavioral kind either. It can, turn into cancer. So you don't want to do that. So you got to have them taken out. But when they're, like all the way up in here, they've basically got to do exploratory surgery. They've got to open him and dig around and look all over until they find them. And with his heart condition, we want to keep that surgery and anesthetic time to an absolute minimum. So all that put together means the surgeon wants to wait until after he's done the heart, and then we can see about it. The good news is the surgeon says that if he's cryptorchid, he probably wouldn't be capable of making any kittens anyway. And of course, we'll keep an eye on him and keep him away from any cats that haven't had their spay. But it is good news that he probably You know, that fact that he's cryptorchid at least works out in our favor, meaning that we can still wait for that, and we don't have to worry too much about him, well, making kittens around here. So that's that. I know that's a lot of detail about Teaspoon, but there you have it. So the bottom line, the TLDR for Teaspoon, that's T. The T in that is definitely Teaspoon. I don't know the rest. Anyway, Teaspoon's TLDR is he's doing great. We are going to try to get his heart surgery around the beginning of October, and his neuter will have to be sometime after that. And after, we're still hoping, I think, to have him adopted out by somebody who finds him charming at that point and who can take care of whatever ongoing care he's going to need, which may be more than just the heart. You know, I don't know what the post-care is for that surgery or what recovery is like, but we do know that the heart's definitely not the only thing he's got going on. He's got the heart, he's cryptorchid. We know that he's got like this chronic constipation, and lately, the last day, he's been having some kind of little pee problem too that I think maybe is resolved. We're keeping an eye on it. My point just being that even the surgeon was saying, you know, there could be additional congenital issues that we haven't even seen yet. In fact, he was saying when he does the hunt for the cryptorchids in there. Cryptids, would that be cryptid zoology? I don't know. It wouldn't, though. That doesn't work. It would be orchid zoology, which forget it. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing. The surgeon was saying, though, when he does do the surgery eventually, he wants to dig around in there and have an actual look and see if everything else looks like it's okay. If he's digging around anyway, he's like, I might as well have a look for things like liver shunts and other things that are real common congenital defects to see if he's got any other sort of congenital defects. So my point of all of that is, you know, we need to find him the right adopter who can manage those things. And I would hate for any adopter to, you know, not know what they were getting into. That would be the last thing we would want for any adopter. You know, we want to make sure that they understand the commitment they're making. And for Teaspoon, that commitment's a little bit different than the rest. I know he'll find his right people, though. In fact, you know, I think he's already got some applicants. It's just hard to say, you know, when those applications come in so early for a little guy like Teaspoon, it's hard to say much later when he's finally ready to be adopted whether those people have been waiting, you know. So I wouldn't count my applications until they hatch, I suppose. Okay, that was a lot of rambling. I really do need to get some more coffee in me and, I don't know, wake up. And I don't think I cleaned all the litter boxes this morning in the mess of stuff. So I got to double check all of that. But I want to say thank you so much for joining me for today's little close-up. After Kitten KACon, well, I don't want to make any grand proclamations because then when they don't pay out, I don't have to feel quite as bad about it. But KACon really made me realize I need to do these a lot more often, among other things. You know, I've always had that feeling, but it really just kind of, I don't know. It's something else to see it with your own eyes, I suppose. So it was wonderful, by the way, KACon. I can't go on about it now. This video's been too long, but maybe we'll get a chance to talk about it later. KACon was great, and so were all the people. But for now, I should let you guys go. You can tune into the regular Kitten Academy live stream if you want to watch those kittens, or if you want to watch these kittens, they're probably on the stream, and if not, they will be. Oh, there goes Squall. Do you see her over there now? All right. So thanks for joining me. Congratulations to Till on her 4 new babies. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of them soon. All right, Wellington, you pull down that camera. Good plan. Squall, where'd your ball go? Oh, there it is. It's right here. Come here. You want to get this for me? Hi. Your nose is so dirty. There you go. Puddles will start trouble with Maggie. I see them looking at each other. It's probably already time to put Puddles up for a little while. So, with that in mind, thanks everybody. Bye, Squall. Say goodbye to everybody, Squall. Say goodbye. Can you do that? Okay, well, that'll work too.